Welcome to my video titled, Why I No Longer Travel to Cancun, and Why It Might Be Time for a Change. As someone who once saw Cancun as a tropical paradise, my experiences have led me to reevaluate not only my travel choices but the impact they have on the environment and local cultures. From overcrowded beaches to a diminishing sense of authentic experience, I'll share why it's time to consider a different approach to travel. Join me as we explore the hidden costs of convenience and the rewards of slow travel, ultimately leading to new discoveries that await us closer to home. 1. First glimpse of paradise. Close your eyes and picture it. Powdery white sand so soft it squeaks between your toes, the electric blue Caribbean lapping at your feet, and a salty breeze that smells like freedom. That was my first memory of Cancun, a place that felt like it had been painted by the gods themselves. I remember the thrill of stepping off the plane, sunglasses sliding down my nose, and thinking, this is it. This is where I'll find joy. I wasn't alone in that feeling. Millions have chased this dream, filling Instagram with sun-soaked snapshots and tequila-fueled smiles. But what happens when the postcard-perfect image starts to crack? Can a paradise lose its magic if you look close enough? 2. Too many people, not enough space. The first thing that hit me on my last visit wasn't the sea air, it was the wall of bodies. Everywhere I looked, there were crowds. On the beach, in the shops, spilling out of every bar and club. Waiting in line for breakfast felt more like a theme park than a vacation. The once quiet stretches of sand were packed with sunbeds and umbrellas, and the soundtrack was no longer gentle waves, but the endless chatter of tourists. It's not just my imagination. Cancun regularly welcomes over 6 million visitors a year now. If you crave a spot where you can hear your own thoughts, you might be searching a long time. 3. Nature under threat. On my first trip, I snorkeled above reefs teeming with rainbow-colored fish. Now, too many flippers have turned those same reefs pale and brittle. The coral is struggling from constant boat traffic, careless swimmers, and pollution. Beaches are often dotted with plastic bottles and stray flip-flops, especially after a busy weekend. Sargassum, a seaweed that smells like rotten eggs, has also become a frequent visitor, making swimming less inviting. If you're passionate about protecting the earth, these changes are hard to ignore. Travelers today have a responsibility to think about the footprint they leave behind. 4. Everything feels like a business. Walking through Cancun's hotel zone, it sometimes feels like every experience has a price tag. There's a mall where a mangrove forest used to be, and street vendors hawking the same souvenirs every few meters. Even the famous Mayan ruins at Chichen Itza are surrounded by crowds and ticket booths. Resorts promise authentic culture, but much of it feels staged for tourists. I found myself missing the quiet coffee shops and family-run restaurants you stumble upon by accident in other towns. It's tough to make a real connection when everything feels curated for your wallet. 5. Real culture is hard to find. Cancun sits on land with thousands of years of Mayan history, but you'd never know it from most resorts. Local traditions and flavors are often tucked away, overshadowed by chain restaurants and international DJs. I wanted to learn a few words of Yucatec Maya, try homemade cochinita pibil, and hear stories from people who grew up here. Instead, it was easier to find pizza and burgers than authentic Yucatan dishes. If you're hungry for a genuine taste of Mexico, you'll need to go hunting beyond the big hotels. 6. The hidden cost of convenience. All-inclusive packages are everywhere in Cancun. They make it so easy to just show up, eat, drink, and nap by the pool. But this convenience can be a trap. I've found myself barely leaving the resort, missing out on the real world outside the gates. It's tempting, but in exchange for simplicity, you sacrifice adventure. The best travel stories rarely start with, I stayed in the hotel all week. Sometimes the greatest moments come from getting lost, trying new things, and embracing the unexpected. 7. Slow travel is sweeter. My favorite travel memories aren't about ticking off landmarks, they're about lingering. Wandering a quiet street at sunset, sharing stories with locals, and letting days unfold slowly. Cancun's rush to pack in as much as possible, beach parties, day trips, endless excursions, left me exhausted. I started craving places where time felt elastic, where I could just be. Slow travel isn't just a trend, it's a mindset that brings more meaning and less stress. 8. New discoveries next door. Stepping away from Cancun led me to places like Bacolor with its 7 shades of blue, or Isla Holbox where golf carts replace cars. Tulum's beaches feel wilder, and Valladolid's pastel streets hum with local life. Even Playa del Carmen, though lively, offers more pockets of authenticity. These spots have their own quirks and challenges. No place is perfect, but they feel fresher, less overrun, and surprisingly more welcoming. Sometimes, the best adventures are just a short bus ride away. 9. Supporting sustainable travel. After seeing the impact of tourism firsthand, I started looking for ways to give back. That means choosing eco-friendly hotels, eating at local markets, and seeking out community-run tours. In places where tourism is handled with care, you see cleaner beaches, happier residents, and wildlife thriving. It's not about giving up comfort entirely, it's about traveling with intention. Your choices matter, even on vacation. 10. Time for something different. Cancun will always hold a piece of my heart, but it's not the only place to find magic. The world is full of hidden gems, places where the air feels different, where you can be part of a story instead of just watching from the sidelines. If you've been to Cancun and felt something missing, maybe it's time to try somewhere new. Would you trade the familiar for the unknown?